I was immensely sad the other night, and it's all because the game that I love, the game that I've been playing for so long in beta, is not the same game that's going to go to global release currently. If you've played enough games, you're going to see immediately when I show this to you that yes, this game is dead for free-to-play, for whales. Nobody is going to want to play the game in its current state. But that's okay because we've had so many betas. Things can change. The first beta with the Vigor system, it was so bad, we knew that nobody would play the game, and they changed it. It's great now. That's one of the biggest draws to this game is how amazing the Vigor system is and the combat is. Very worrisome though. They've done a lot of changes. I'm going to get to the main point in a second, but I do want to tell you that they've cut out all the one-time rewards we used to get as a brand new player. And I don't know why they've done this. This is a very, very bad decision. It wasn't like they were giving us everything. They were giving us some good rewards, but they've cut that back so much. And then they've cut like the weekly rewards we would get with our clans, with our arena. They basically cut everything so much back so that I don't even think it's going to be a good new player experience, which is really bad for a game because you want people to play your game longer. You don't want them to leave. If they play longer in that new player experience, then they're more likely to stay, get involved with the game, get into it deep, maybe go watch some videos, maybe tell their friends about it, and they're more likely to stay with it. So right now, they've gutted all the rewards along with doing what they've done right now with actually how you unlock being able to equip gear, which is insane. If you played Raid Shadow Legends before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You have these 3 slots. In Raid, it's a ring, a necklace, and a banner. And to do this, you have to go farm ascension pots in these different dungeons. Really easy to do, really challenging in the beginning when you first start playing, but then once you get a strong team, you're blowing through it. You have 2 waves and then a boss. Each boss is different. You get these ascension pots, and then you use those pots to unlock these slots to then go farm spider. And once you get those banners, those rings, and those necks, you equip them on your hero, which is really good for progression. You need it. It's a gear farming game. This is what we do. We farm gear and then we equip that gear. We look for main stats, substats. It's what I love about this. And I love the fantasy look. I love this game, or did. But now to unlock the gear slots in here, you have to have multiple copies of a hero. Let that sink in. Multiple copies of a hero to unlock these slots, just to equip gear. Even whales aren't going to do this because if you don't know about RNG, let me just try to refresh your memory. Out of all the turn-based gacha games I've ever played, I've spent over $40,000 on Raid Shadow Legends, and when I left that game, I still didn't have every hero. Forget multiple copies of hero. I didn't have every hero. Luckily with Gawain, I had an additional copy of him, so I was able to do an ascension here for 1 star, which did unlock the 1 equipment slot that I can use now. To do the 2 star, I have to have 2 copies of him. I don't know how many copies I'm going to need at 6 star. Jesus, it's going to be crazy. How do you then balance your game? Are you balancing your content around people not having these gear slots, around having all these gear slots? If somebody gets lucky with RNG, which is what it's all about, right? This is all now a paid thing to use gear. No matter how you slice it, it is a paid function for you to roll on heroes just to unlock gear slots. No game has ever had this. No game ever will have this because nobody will play a game like this. Even Mega Krakens would never play a game like this because they're going to summon, they're going to have unlucky $100,000, $200,000. They're going to be unlucky and they're not going to be able to equip gear on here, which is going to be very important for them to be able to use an arena because these gear slots are big. Just like in Raid, you want that accuracy, you want that resistance, you want all the speed, all the other stats that we use, main stats and substats. And to have it like this is just kind of really crazy to me. So I am very worried. I'm worried the direction of the game. It's hard to, I think, for them to manage it because this is a Chinese company, Kabam, with a game that they were like in control of. Then they kind of gave it to like the Western. I feel like they give it to the Western people so they could get it ready for like a European United States release. And I don't know if everybody there is on the same page. I don't know if they're trying to go with more of an ideology of how the West plays a game or how Chinese play their games over there. But to me, this is absolutely something that nobody's going to get behind. If you look at any kind of game, any new turn-based gacha game that comes out, Honkai Star Rail is a perfect example of a game that just makes so much money because it's fun, it's great for free to play, and it's great for whales because whales can go ham in there. And I thought this Ascension for here was going to be like that. I thought whales could then really go ham get multiple copies of these heroes and get a little bit of increase in strength, attack, HP, and defense. I had no idea it would affect how we equip our gear. Once we go farm that gear, you're going to have that gear and you're not going to be able to put it on your hero for who knows how long. Years maybe. Even if they incorporate a way for you to slowly be able to unlock different heroes, it's still a miss. It's a big, absolute fail. Since we're really digging into this, let me mention one more thing. When you fight the bosses here, all the bosses have some kind of mechanic that you have to overcome, just like any game that we play, which is great. That means you bring in a lot of different variety of heroes to overcome whatever you have to fight regarding to that boss. But here in King Arthur Legends Rise, almost every single boss has some kind of weird mechanic to where it's going to stun your whole entire team, freeze your whole entire team, or confuse your whole entire team over and over and over again. It is very boring. Nobody wants their players to lose control of their heroes. Nobody is down with that. You go in there to overcome whatever the boss mechanics are. If a boss stuns like one of your guys or does something to one of your players, okay. But that is not challenging when you have something that just stuns, freeze, freeze, freeze. A lot of times when you fight some of the boar or you fight the cat, you can just get over and over stunned and rooted, which is the same thing, or frozen with the bear. Those are not good mechanics. It doesn't make the game enjoyable, and I think a lot of people are going to be put off by this because it's not necessary. It's not necessary to make it difficult, because you can make a game difficult. You can make the encounter difficult in a variety of ways, but just having something in there to where, oh, okay, my team's going to get stunned now. Oh, okay, my team's going to get stunned again and again and again is not something that people play. And it's not something that other games put into their game because they know it's going to put people off. I want to apologize for doing that video yesterday and letting you know that this game is available on Steam. I would advise you not to play it and just stay tuned and see if changes are made or not. If they are, which they have time to make changes, and that's great, I'll be the biggest person to come in here and tell you changes were made. The game is absolutely amazing. Let's go King Arthur's Legends Rise like I've been doing for the last, I don't know, it feels like a year now, 8 months, however long it's been. I've been their biggest fanboy, and now I'm not, and it's really sad. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Appreciate your time. I will see you all in a video soon.